Well, good afternoon, YouTube. I had a request recently to do an update on the beehive, so that's what we're doing. But before we check out the hives, let's check out this little area around the hive. If you remember a while back, we planted some clover back here. Most of this isn't clover, although what we did plant is starting to bloom. It's looking good, but what we've got mostly growing is ragweed, and that's a nice source of pollen. This we'll have a whole ton of yellow flowers soon. I don't know if you can see there. So they're just getting ready to bloom. So that'll be a great thing for the bees. But for now, today what we're going to do is just do a general check, and we're also going to feed them some sugar water. So let's get to it. So if you remember from a while back, we've got two hives. We got one that's always done really well. It got off to a fast start. You can see there, got plenty of bees coming and going. Then we had this other one that wasn't doing real well, and so we captured some bees from somewhere else and introduced them and tried to combine them. And so we'll open up the hive and take a look and see how they're doing. Looks like there is some activity there, so that's a good sign. Let's open up this first hive and see what we've got going on. See if they've drawn any new comb or started to expand at all. Give them a little smoke, send the bees down, and open her up and take a look. Well, it looks like for now no drawn comb. They're starting to draw a little bit right there, so it looks like they're moving up. It's been a little while since I've opened this up. Okay, so there again you can see they're starting to draw this comb out, so it looks like they're just starting to move into that second hive body. I would have liked to see a little more progress given how late it is in the season. I don't know. Again, I'm no expert, but hopefully they can get enough honey stored up for the winter. So they're definitely spending some time in that second hive body, but I'd really like to see some brood and some stored honey. Right now I've got a feeder in the first hive body, so we'll wait a second for these bees to calm down and get settled back in. We'll come back and feed those in a minute. But for now, let's check on the big hive here. So this lid, we had this built by a local high school, and it's really started to warp quite a bit and is not very weather tight anymore. So we've been using an inner cover on this hive just to keep some of the weather out until we can maybe put some flashing on that hive. So let's get this inner cover off and see what we're working with today. So that's really what you want to see, especially I think, this late in the season. There's already honey in there. They haven't capped it yet, but I'm debating if I should maybe steal a little taste, leave them to fill up the rest. But we'll go through the rest of these hives. If there's any capped honey, I'll go ahead and take it and put a new empty frame in for them to draw out. But this is great. That's what I like to see. So instead of pulling all these out, I'm just gonna slide these frames across and do kind of a visual check. I'll just look at them, just look down. Let's see what we've got. If you want to join me and take a look here, so here's what we're looking at, and so I'll do is just slide these frames across the super and just look at each one as we go. Man, they all look really good so far. I can see now we're getting to some that aren't drawn out, so it looks like they're kind of working left to right if you're looking at the front of the hive. So these two frames aren't drawn out yet, so we'll let them keep working on that. So what I'm going to do, close this back up. I've got the feeder down here, and we'll give them some sugar water. Alright, I'll take the whole super off. Give them half of this syrup that we made, just a 1-to-1 mixture, sugar and water. It's best to use cane sugar if you can. And that hive's ready to go. So we'll check in about a week, and hopefully we'll have some honey. Looks like this hive has calmed down again, so we'll open this one up and feed them. Normally you'd keep the feeder in your uppermost hive body, but since they hadn't filled any of this out yet, I read that you can stress bees out by giving them too much space to fill, so I figured I'd keep everything sort of compact and in that first hive body, so I'm just leaving it down there for now. These two farmost frames are still not drawn out yet, so really we put 4 frames in May. They've drawn 2 out since August. So I checked on these about the time that we introduced those other bees and tried to combine the hive. I pulled each frame out and noticed that there were a number of queen cells that had been opened, which would indicate that at some point we had lost our queen and they had to replace her with a new one. So that explains part of the reason they're lagging behind. But anyway, all we can do now is continue to feed them and keep them healthy and happy, and hope they can survive the winter. But I'll pull this frame out for you. It looks like they're starting to store up some honey, so you know, even if they don't expand into 2 hive bodies, at least they'll have food for the winter. They'll be able to take care of themselves. Oh yeah, so you can see there, plenty of capped honey, and they're working on filling up more. So say the more we feed them, the better off they'll be. The second frame is the same way. What I'd like to see is them putting in some more brood, but maybe we'll pull out one more frame, take a look at the activity. I'm generally a little hesitant to pull out frames where I think the queen might be. I don't want to risk killing her. Hey, we gotta learn somehow, so let's open her up and take a look at this hive. Definitely want to be careful. The queen may be in there. Well, that's a good sign. You can see all those cells that are capped over. They look brown. That's capped brood, which means those are larvae that are getting ready to hatch. So we're definitely reproducing. It's a good sign. So I think I'll just go ahead, put this frame back, and just let them. I figure the less we disturb this hive, the better they'll be going into the winter. So put this back in, and let's leave them alone. So close this back up. There you go. Bee update for you as requested. Running Water Farmer. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button, and if you want to see more of these updates or any other update, just leave a comment. Let me know. I'm glad to show you anything around the farm. All you have to do is ask. See you later.